So I have just done my eyebrows with the Got2b glue gel, and now I'm just going to prime my skin. I've got a hairbrush in my primer drawer. First off, I'm literally just going to spray a little bit of the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Mist, and this is like, it's a setting mist, but hyaluronic acid is really good for like plumping the skin and things like that, so it's actually quite good for before makeup as well. So I'm just that tasted horrific. I'm just gonna spritz a little bit on there, and then I'm also going in with the Glam Glow Starter, which is this here. And this just gives the most incredible glow to the skin. So I'm just going to bob this on and watch. Wow. So I've already done my skincare. I've like toned, I've put my SPF on, I've put my serums on. And this is going to be like my final step moisturiser sort of thing for my skincare, but I just thought I would do it on camera so then you can actually see like the effect that it has on my skin. It just makes your skin feel really hydrated and glowy. Like this is really nice before makeup. If you're not wearing any makeup, it's just really nice to just give you a little bit of life back into your skin, and it sits really well under makeup as well. But yeah, can you just see like the gleam that I have now? Like I look alive. We look like we drink 10 litres of water a day. We definitely don't, but we should. So then to just combat the areas in which I don't particularly want any sort of like glow, so to speak, it's just to help control my oil, because like my nose does get quite oily, and here as well, like in these big pores around my nose, it does get quite oily. So I am going to go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And I'm just gonna smooth that into those pores just to try and combat my oil later on in the day, because I am actually going to brunch today with my gal pals. It's a Sunday, which is dangerous because it's a bottomless brunch. A bottomless brunch on a Sunday when you've got work in the morning is, yeah, it's always going to be a dangerous game, but we are dangerous here. So as you can see, that primer literally just takes away that sort of like shine from my nose and like surrounding area. It has just mattified it ever so slightly, and this just really helps with the longevity of my makeup, because I know for a fact I get oily in these areas and it's the oil that breaks down your makeup basically. So yes, I just prime my skin in certain areas to make sure that I'm gonna get the best out of my makeup. I always do my like skin prep, obviously I do it first, but I do my skin prep first and then I'll go to do my eyes, because that just gives like a little bit of time for the skin to settle, for everything to really sink into the skin. And also if I mess up on my eyes, I can just wipe my eyes away and I don't have to redo the whole of my face. So to carve out my brow and to prime my lid, standard here, I'm going to go in with the P. Louise base in Rumour 1, and I'm also going to grab my Sigma Cut Crease E62 brush. And this is just a backhand job. I'm literally just, oh god, I'll literally just go and carve my brow and prime my lid. And I have said it before in my videos, the P. Louise base, when you see it used on Instagram, it has this like perfect flawless finish. It is like one whole blank canvas on your lid sort of thing. I do not get that with the P. Louise base. I don't know if it's because like my eyelids are really, really oily or whatever. But as you can see, like, it is, even if I go in and pat it like they say to on like their Instagram, I don't get that like absolutely perfect sort of flawless finish on my lid. Like, you can see like it's still kind of streaky and things like that, but once I like lay it down, I actually buff it in with a fluffy brush and it works exactly the same. It still helps my shadows perform really, really well. It still gives me that like blank base to sort of go from, so to speak. So as you can see, it's not how it looks on Instagram. Maybe it's because I use it wrong. Like, I understand that not everybody is a fantastic makeup artist, but yeah, I'm just saying, if you get it and you're like, oh my god, that is not how it looks on Instagram, do not worry, because it still performs the same, so you're okay. I think what I will do is I'll just do the one eye off of camera to make sure I know exactly what I'm doing, and then I will talk you through the other eye, just so then I'm not telling you something and then I wipe it all off. So as you can see, one eye is pretty much done. I'm going for like a soft glam look because, yeah, I just fancy soft glam today. Normally if I go out I want something like quite extravagant and stuff like that, but because of the hair is quite bold, is the pink, so I'm thinking if we tone down the eyes and maybe a bold lip, we'll see. I'm just using one palette today to create this, and it is the Stacey Marie Antidote palette. So I've literally just used 1, 2, 3. I've used like 4 shades, but it's pretty much 3. I'm not going in with like my usual small brushes either, because this is like quite soft and it's not really like detail, it's more blown out. I'm going to be using the Morphe M433. So it's just a fluffy brush, and for this sort of like rounded with, I don't even know what this is, this crease, I'm going in with Lotte Latte, which is this like cool toned brownie colour. And while I was doing the first eye, I realised that it's the shape that's quite important for this, and that is literally going very, very, very softly in the crease, and I'm just like tickling the colour on. So as you can see, like it's quite like this here, like this, and then like pretty much the blend up and stuff is just this colour. So it's just making sure that this colour is packed on in the middle, like where the crease is, and then really, really diffused out at those edges. So I'm just going to get this on first and get this like shape, and then bringing it down here to the lash line as well. Yeah, I've got it on, albeit not particularly good. And I'm just gonna blend those edges out. This eye is always so much easier than this eye. Does anybody else have like a favourite eye? Oh god, that's my stomach growling. So I'm just gonna keep looking and trying to get the shape to match the other eye. Sorry, I have like a mirror behind here, like behind you guys, and then I have a mirror down here. So down here is for like, so I can see close up what I'm doing, and then the mirror there is so I can try and match. And it doesn't matter if like you're too messy down here, because I'm going to go in with a little bit more of the base to like just kind of clean this up to get the shape. Obviously try not to be messy, but it's going to happen. You know, it's 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning. I don't get like full use of my limbs until about 12, so... Are you trying to get in?
Yeah.
Hello.
Has the doctor been fed this morning?
I haven't fed him.
Oh, okay.
Dogs are starving, clearly. But I'm just looking and seeing if that shape's right. Maybe a little bit higher here. And then again, going down to this corner. That looks good enough for me at the moment. So next up, I'm going to go in with the shade Dove, which is like this off-white colour. And I'm just using a Real Techniques Essential Crease brush, just a fluffy brush. It's really weird like using fluffy brushes today instead of like teeny tiny brushes. And this is just to kind of create a more controlled, diffused look to those browns. Well, those brown. And as you can see, like that really like pulls together. And then I'm also going to go underneath as well, just to try and like clean this up a little bit. To get that shape, to see if my shape's right. I think my shape's pretty spot on, it's just that it needs to be higher. Just that diffused edge. So again, I'm going to go in with that brown and the Lotte Latte brown that we used before, and literally just continue to really lightly try and blend that brown up to my brow bone. Especially like this here is quite high, so, and I do like the shape of that I got on that first eye, so I'm going to try and match that. For these sorts of like blends, like seamless blends, it is literally all about going back in, deepening colour, diffusing the edges, like really light tickling motions on the skin. It's quite time consuming, but like it looks fab like once it's done. So now I'm going back in with the Dove again, that white, that like off-white. And I'm just trying to like perfect this top bit first before I even try anything with the lid. I'm then going to take a Zoeva 227 Luxe Soft Definer, and there's nothing on this brush, it is a clean brush, and I'm literally just going to take off any sort of like excess that's just sat there and not diffused. So I'm happy with how I'm looking there, so now I'm just going to do the lid and like this little flicky bit. So what I did do was, so I've taken it's like a flat packing brush, but it's sort of like a little bit fluffy, and all I did was I took some of that P. Louise base, like not a lot, like literally just like some excess that was left over my hand, and I've patted it onto my lid to just to like sort of blank out and clean up the edges of that brown. Can you see like it's just a little bit cleaner? And the shape that I've gone for is sort of this like in here in this inner corner is still quite light. So I just need to make sure that the other eye that I'm doing now is looking like that. So I can see that like it's supposed to be. I just open my eye to see exactly where I can put it here. And then I did go out here. It's just that that liner covered it. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did. So then I am going to go in with that fluffy brush again and Dove. And that is literally just going to pat over that base to mattify it down and also brighten that lid a smidge. And it's just really light pressure to really get that like really nice diffused look. So I'm going to go back in with that Lotte Latte to literally just blend out the edges near my waterline, here at my outer corner, and add a tiny bit more depth back in to that lid. So as you can see, now if you just drop your eyes, because like I go like this when I'm putting like my eyeshadow on and stuff, but you don't sit like that all the time. So if you do just drop your face and have a look at where things aren't matching. So I can see here, this is brown, this is still a little bit white poking through from where my crease folds. So I know that I need to go in with that brown and deepen that up. So drop my lid again, and yeah, that is looking a hell of a lot better. Just see if there's anywhere that's missing a little bit of... Yeah, I think looking quite good there. I took this slightly lighter brown, which is dusk, and I took a tiny bit of that on that Zoeva fluffy brush, the 227, a tiny amount of that, and I literally just went round here on the lid to just slightly diffuse those edges. And then to just make sure that that lid is nice and bright, I am going to go back in with Dove and just add it on like the inner part of my lid. Now for this like liner, I literally took like a angled brush. This is just a Makeup Revolution one. It's a limited edition, but I'm sure you can get an angled brush from somewhere. You'll have one somewhere. And I took this chestnut and mixed it a tiny bit with Mystic, which is the black. And all I did was packed my brush on here, and I went from my pupil right on the lash line, and I took it at like this nice diagonal to meet with this outer brow. And then literally all you have to do is blend out the edge of that liner with the Lotte Latte shade that we used in the crease. And there we have the eyes all done. So onto the base. So because it is a bottomless brunch and I want to feel bougie and long lasting and fantastic, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Foundation. I'm literally just going to mix them on the back of my hand, because I feel like the Anastasia has that really good long lasting longevity sort of thing, but the Charlotte Tilbury has like a fantastic finish that I really love on my skin. So we primed before, and then I'm just going to blob this on my face. And I do have excess on my hand that I'm just going to keep there for now. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it on my nose first. But I am going to keep the rest of it there for now. And I'm just going to buff out what is already on my face, because I don't want to be applying too much and have my face looking cakey. I can always add more if needs be, but for now we'll just see how we get on with this much. Just going around my eyebrows with a fluffy brush to make sure that I don't get any foundation in them, because if I do it with my big brush, I could potentially get a load of foundation in them, and that is not a look. And as you can see, I'm not actually taking that foundation right underneath my eyes, because Robert Welsh, I swear to God, all I talk about is Robert Welsh. But yes, Robert Welsh said that you're not actually supposed to put foundation underneath your eyes, because then you've got foundation and concealer underneath your eyes, and that makes it look cakey. So if you think I'm not going to listen to him, you're wrong. I am going to go down my neck because it's still a little bit too dark for me. So I normally use, when I'm going out, I normally use 2 concealers. I do like a conceal of like my face and mascara in, and then I do like a brightening conceal. So first off, for the actual covering, for the concealing, I'm going to be using the NARS Soft Matte Concealer, because this is just absolutely fantastic. And I'm literally going to go in and place that on any sort of like scarring issues that I have. If you haven't tried this, I definitely would. I lent this to one of my friends, actually. You know who you are, Bella. Yeah, I lent this to one of my friends. I won't tell you why, because, you know, privacy. But yeah, I lent it to one of my friends, Bella, and she was like actually blown away. Like she messaged me about it like, oh my god, it's amazing. And I was like, yeah, everything I have is amazing. If I recommend a product, I only recommend it if I know that it's absolutely fantastic. And Bella can vouch for me on that. She knew it was good. And then for my like second concealer, I'm going to go in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Chantilly. I have just bought another one of these as like a restock. But yeah, this is really, really good coverage, long lasting. It's just one of NARS with the base products, they just know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. I don't really go to NARS for like eyes or anything like that, but base products, they know the shit. And under the eye, and here. And I'm going to leave that quite smoky. I don't want like a fine line, so it might be that I have to go over there at the end of the video with the eyeshadow brushes again, just to make that sure that that's like diffused and smoky, because I don't want that line. But going in and just blending out. And this soft matte concealer for like scar covering, blemish covering, anything like that is absolutely amazing. It's because it's like a pot concealer, it's just better coverage anyway, but it sits so nicely. Because it's pot and matte, it doesn't get oily, which sometimes concealers can get oily because they obviously your face produces oils naturally, like you're not going to get away from that. And over, 12 hours in the day, it will happen, like it's just one of those things. But this, because it is a pot and it's soft matte, absolutely fantastic. Amazing. It will stay all day and it won't look funny. It won't like deteriorate over the day. And you can literally see like how fantastic that's all blended out. You can still see like the texture to my skin as well, which one, we're not going to get away from that because everybody has texture, and two, a little bit of texture actually makes sure that you look real. If we didn't have texture on our skin whatsoever, we would look ridiculous. We'd look like dolphins. And I'm really tempted to not even add like any sort of inner corner highlight or anything like that to my eyes, because this like matte look is kind of speaking to me. So next up onto powder, I'm going to be using the HMB Cosmetics Soft Focus Loose Powder. So next up I'm going to be using the HMB Cosmetics Soft Focus Loose Powder. And I can't put it down. It is absolutely amazing. I would probably say that this is my favourite loose powder now, honestly. Like, for under the eyes, it's just absolutely incredible. If you haven't tried it, do try it. Like, I would quite happily buy this over my Laura Mercier now. And the Laura Mercier is a hell of a lot more expensive than this, so you do the math. And I'm only setting the places like where I really, really need to set, so the centre of my face pretty much, where things get oily, and then obviously under my eyes to avoid any sort of creasing. And you don't have to use like a lot of product at all. Yeah, it just looks, look at that. Look how like smooth and flawless it looks, but still like hydrated. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't know how she's made this. But I have in fact changed my mind, and I am going to set the rest of my face, just because I had a look outside and it looks a little bit warm. So now I'm a bit scared. Now I'm a bit scared that it's warm, so I am going to set the rest of my face, or at least my cheeks, because I'm a sweaty gal. So for bronzer, I'm not going to cream contour or cream bronze or anything like that, because as I said, it's warm, and now I'm a little bit like, if it's warm and I get sweaty and things start dribbling, I'm not about that life. So I'm going to be taking the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Sun Kissed Bronze. And this is a really, really nice like glowy bronzer. So I'm thinking for this look, I'm actually wanting like quite a subtle blush, like something like a little bit orangey pinky sort of thing. So the best blush that I have that goes with that sort of description is the Revolution Blusher Reloaded in Peach Bliss. It's not like too much, just sort of adds like that sort of sheen to the skin. A little bit on the nose. I'm gonna put a little bit up here as well, just to make sure that everything's looking cohesive. I was just looking at my face then, and I was like, something is wrong. I haven't contoured my nose, so I'm just going in with the Hoola bronzer. Honestly, don't start contouring your nose, because once you do, when you don't do it, then you're like, oh god, look at my face. Then for highlight, I'm going in with my new fave, which is the Doll Beauty Shine Bright Like a Diamond Duo highlighter. And as I said, I'm thinking of keeping everything quite matte like on the eye still, so I'm not going to go in with an inner corner highlight or a brow bone highlight. This, I'm going to take a sweep of both. It's literally just going here on my cheeks. A smidge on the end of my nose. In between the eyes. A little bit on the moustache. Just go in and slightly fill in the tail of my brows with the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. Because like I don't naturally get hair that far down, which is a bit of a shame really, because I would like to have big eyebrows. Maybe just blend with that like clean brush, just to make sure that everything's looking cohesive there. Then I think it's time to set my face. So I'm going to go in with the MAC Fix Plus. I'm going to go in with the All Nighter Ultra Glow. That just keeps me looking nice and hydrated. The others help to keep everything in place. I think I'll quickly just finish off the eyes. I'm actually going to go in with the P. Louise and Mitchell Blank Canvas Acid Rain Paint, and I'm going to go in there on my waterline. If you don't like eyes, do not look. Like, look at the difference that makes. I like that. I just think that makes like all the difference. And because these paints are waterproof, then we're in business. So for mascara, I'm going to be taking my Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof. Waterproof because there might be a lot of crying with laughter today. And I'm really, really going to focus this on like the outer part of my lashes, where like we've got that eyeliner. We'll slightly coat the fronts, but we're really all about that corner. And I'm just going to coat those bottom lashes. Only a smidge, not a lot. And then for my lips, I'm going to go in with the Doll Beauty Boy by lip liner and the FOMO lipstick. So that is the lips, and then I am just going to add a gloss over the top. I'm going to use the Baby Lips Moisturizing Lip Gloss by Maybelline, and this is years and years old, but so addressing the elephant in the room. Yes, this is in fact a different day. I have had to redo the tutorial because I did run out of time to film my outro. I thought, you know what, it's fine. I'll film it when I get home from a bottomless brunch. No problem. So we went to bottomless brunch. 11 cocktails later, we went to Junkyard Golf. A few cocktails after that, we went to Roxy's Ballroom, and yeah, there was a lot. Yes, I have done it for you again, so you can actually see what everything is looking like. And this is the finished look. As you can see, it's just like a really, really lovely soft glam moment. It's one of those really like pretty looks. You can manipulate it for any eye shape. It just looks nice. It looks gorgeous. So yes, if you've liked this, please do give it a thumbs up. I'm really, really sorry that you've had to wait so long. I mean, you didn't know it was coming, but it's been a long time in the making, I can assure you. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button if this is something that you are into, because it is pretty much all the time playing with makeup. So yes, thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.